can you pinpoint where it went wrong for this Florida Panthers team?
Hard to say where exactly it went wrong. I just, when I'm looking at them, I'm looking at where do they go from here. And I think, they've got essentially 4 pressing items. Number one, we can discuss them if you guys want, is the coach. And then what to do with their unrestricted free agents, focusing on Giroux, Ben Sherratt, and Mason Marchment. And they've got to figure that out. And then they got to figure out what they're going to do with Jonathan Huberdeau. As great a player as he is, what do you do with him? Barkov signed a new deal for $10 million. So you got to address that. There's going to be expectations there. That's not going to be easy. And last but not least, they're going to take a look at the draft capital that they expended to get where they're at. And it's pretty thin. No first and second this year, no first and third next year, no first and second the year after that. Did they do the right things? Yeah, I think so. Whenever you have a team as good as theirs, you got to go for it. But I think they're going to really take a deep dive, take a couple of weeks, and then I think we'll get clarity on where they go with their coach. But there's a process you got to go through, and Billy Zito knows he has time, and he's done a great job there, as has all their management staff. It didn't work out. Guess what? It only works out for one group at the end of the year. So that's the way it goes. Everybody knows that. But they're going to reassess what they had. And for me, I've said it before, they had an all-star team this year. Yeah. It was the Harlem Globetrotters on some night.
Can they look at the blueprint from their in-state rivals, Tampa, a couple of years ago, and say, hey, we were too one-dimensional come regular season and playoff time. We need to get grittier or be able to win in different ways come crunch time?
Yeah, I think that's what they'll be doing over the next couple of weeks, is they're going to sit down and do a really deep dive as to where did it go sideways. It was such a great year, such an exciting year, especially for hockey in South Florida, like we've really never seen. You have to go back to '96. And even then, I don't think it reached the heights that it was reaching this year. It just ended with a real big thud. That happens. They've got a great management team. They got to figure out where they're going with their coach. Got to figure out those free agents, so then away they go. But they'll be back, and they'll be stronger than ever. They'll be a better group because of this. It hurts today. It was shock and disappointment, not shock and awe, that's for sure. And that's the way it is, Rupper. It happens every year for groups. This one had high hopes. You can see all the other free agents. I didn't even touch on that. I'm trying to highlight big off-season issues that the Florida Panthers have to come to agreement on as a group. And I like their group. I like Billy Zito. I like Paul Fenton. I like Rick Dudley, Sonny Mehta, their analytics director. He's amazing. They got a lot to fall back on. It just didn't end the way they wanted.
I love how this team is built. And I thought that so if we were just to say, oh, well, they don't know how to win other way, the personnel's there to do it, right? So it's about getting the whole team to do it. And I actually think if you were to break it down individually, I don't find much difference here with let's compare for what Mitch Marner has gone through in his career, and he's still trying to figure out to some degree. Johnny Gaudreau, Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, Alex Ovechkin. Like, how do I still produce at the rate that I want to produce and are capable of producing in the playoffs? And it's an adjustment, and it's going to look different. It's not going to feel comfortable. You have to get uncomfortable to play in the playoffs. And Jonathan Huberdeau and Sasha Barkov, and I'm not pinning it on them because collectively as a group, they've made a lot of bad defensive plays, but these guys got to find a way to be as big for their team in the playoffs as they are in the regular season. And that's where that's that next threshold, right? When they find that, this team will take off to another level. But the kicker, and what you're saying too, is like, this is almost similar to Colorado, where you're all in now. Yeah. Because now you're going to have contracts kicking in. Yep. You're going to have, like, Colorado's got that window we've always talked about, and they're going to be good for a long time. And Florida's going to be good for a long time. But now you got to be very strategic, and you're going to be coupon cutting. Right. Like, this is that time now.
This is where the rubber hits the road.
It's going to get a little bit harder. It's not like, oh, yeah, that guy's available. Florida was in on everybody. Colorado has been in on everybody. But now those contracts are kicking in. It's going to have to be a little different.
Very selective.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe change the mantra of the comeback Cats, right?
Yeah,
it was fun to watch in the regular season.
No, it's fun to watch.
Playoff time, you don't want to be coming back.
You know what, man? It's not a favorable thing to
recipe.
be
Not a favorable model.
You can call it comeback cool. That means I'm losing a lot, and I'm coming back. So it's great character. But let's not get behind in games. And like I say that jokingly, but like that's the thing. Like they played from behind too much, and it's different coming back from 6-2 against the Devils in February than going against the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.